Three, two, one. Welcome back to the Buckhouse podcast. I am one of your hosts, Benjamin Buckhouse, alongside with Johnathan Buckhouse right over here. We're on episode 35 of the podcast, and I am super excited for this one. We got a lot to catch up on, a lot to talk about. To recap you guys, Johnathan is a snowboarding YouTuber. I am a streamer, and from there, we are just two brothers that talk, just catch up over the week, just talk about what we're interested in, what we're not interested in, what we disagree with, what we agree with. It's just two bros talking about what's going on and kind of what's on our minds. And one reason why I'm super excited about this episode and what we have to talk about is Johnathan hosted a rail jam for his YouTube channel, which is the first ever rail jam he's ever hosted. And I was able to go out and film it, which was awesome. And so, bro, I want to hear your thoughts on how that rail jam went.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming and helping. I was able to, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but make the little video from your help with the filming, which was super rad, a little recap video for people that couldn't make it. And the rail jam was sick. So this was our 6th annual meet and wax. That's where my buddy Michael, the ski doctor that has a mobile tuning rig, and myself would meet up at a place so people can meet me, get their stuff tuned up. Well, this year we did it at a place called Infinity Slopes. That it's like carpet snowboarding type thing, and they had like a dry slope rail situation built. And so I was like, can I host a rail jam here? And they're like, absolutely. So we hosted a rail jam. We gave a bunch of stuff, away. I think everyone got like 5 things, from goggles to face masks, and some people got one guy won a snowboard. The overall winner of the rail jam got a blank snowboard. We gave away a pair of Clew Bindings at the event. It was an incredible time. Ton of people showed up. I would say like through the whole cycle, about 40 plus people came through, which honestly is sick. I'm just thankful that I could even get one person to come meet me. And yeah, how did you think of the event went, bro?
I had a lot of fun at the event, and the vibes were awesome. Honestly, going back to previous episodes that we've talked about of Braille skateboarding and their Braille house. That's what it like. I've got the video up right here. To be fair, Johnathan posted it last night, so I have not had time to watch it. But the vibes from it so far, it felt like a Braille house video, which was really cool to experience. But no, I had a lot of fun there, and I had a lot of fun meeting you guys. I had a handful of you guys come in, say like, "Hey, I love the podcast. We love listening to the podcast," and I'm like, that's so awesome that I got to meet some of you guys. I've met some people on Jonathan's YouTube channel and everything, but I haven't been a part of the YouTube channel for going on like 7 years now. So to kind of meet some people on the podcast, it was a lot of fun. But
I will say it was fun to work with you again, like, because I mean, we do the podcast together, but having you there filming and you just being a part of the crew, like, it was so much fun.
No, it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't say I felt out of my element, but I kind of did, in the sense of like, I haven't gone snowboarding in like 2 years and stuff, but it was like riding a bike to a certain extent. It just, I knew what to do. But it just, initially I was like, I don't know where I'm at right now. This is weird. But, no, it was awesome seeing the kids just go after it on this rail jam, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit. But we had some senders at this rail jam, and we had a couple kids just all learning new tricks on this, like, I wouldn't say sketchy, but like unfamiliar drop-in, unfamiliar. It's dry snow. It's not snow. It's this like plastic kind of texture, right? And so it's an unfamiliar experience. They're hitting features that they've never hit before, doing tricks that they've never done before. And they were just so hyped, and having the whole crowd there just hyping them up. I loved it. I thought it was such a great experience.
Yeah, part of me was like, I hope like a ton of people show up and it's like this heavy, sick rail jam. And then I actually was hyped that the majority of people that showed up were learning and wanted to, like, I can kind of hit rails, I can kind of hit boxes, like I really like to get my first board slide today. Or some kids like, I've never hit a rail before. And there is just so much progression at the event, which honestly stands more for what my channel is about. And the fact that I hope that there is some, especially the younger kids, like I hope that this experience, because it could be like literally changes their life trajectory. Maybe now they're like, yo, like this snowboard thing is like what I want to be doing. And kind of like how James impacted my life. And I was like, man, I want to grow up and be a snowboarder. And then I did. Like, I wonder if there is that type of impact that happened at this jam. Because, dude, one kid like impressed Blink so much, they gave him a whole separate snowboard. They're like, dude, you're ripping. Like, we want to get you on a board. He ended up winning the board at the rail jam. They're like, we're going to get you a board anyways. Like, that was sick.
I was gonna ask you about that. I saw Blank setting that up, and I don't think I got footage on that because I didn't know what was going on, to tell you
That's
the
fine.
truth.
That was a
So
whole separate thing.
okay, yeah, my bad. But anyways, no, I saw Blank helping that kid out, and that kid, oh my goodness, his parents and I talked a lot. They're a really cool family, and no, that kid got so much stuff. He got so much. He got goggles, shirts, jackets, like beanies, and then Blank hooking them up with a snowboard, which he needed a new snowboard. So I'm so happy for that family. They're really nice people.
I was happy to get rid of a lot of that stuff. It was chilling in my my gearbox for way too long. So to share and spread out the love as well, toss it to a bunch of people. But also like Kuno Optics donated, that's my goggle sponsor that's over here behind me, 12 pairs of goggles. So 12 people walked away with new goggles. What was our other big prizes? We had the Clew Bindings, which one dude showed up with a fully snapped pair of Clews. I was talking with Chris about it, and he's like, that's 100% like a manufacturing defect, because like the plastics either didn't cure correctly or things like that. Because I also like, I saw the dude's binding was snapped. I was like, I have legitimately never seen a failure like this before. And I called Jan, and he's like, what'd he do? Run it over with the truck? He's like, how did he do that? So we made sure that he left with a new pair of Clews that night. And then a guy won them in the raffle, which was a ton of fun. And like, I do speaking a lot. And I wasn't like nervous or anything to get in front of all those people and talk. But when you're in person, there's a different vibe to it, a different nerve to standing in front of a bunch of people live and talking.
Yeah, I think you did fine. You had that little speaker, little microphone to be able to yell
Little
out
mic.
into. Yeah, I think you did fine. I also missed that part of getting that guy new bindings, but that's awesome that Clew was able to hook that guy up too. Clew seems like a great brand, and seeing everyone's reaction, because I was filming people trying them out. A lot of people hate on your sponsors for this and that, and it doesn't make any sense because they're like not even giving them a chance. It seems like because like they do.
That's just the culture of the sport. I hate it so much. It's like, if you haven't tried it, don't hate on it. Like I am such a, especially nowadays, like I'm such a big advocate of like, yo, like don't hate on things that you haven't experienced or attempted or tried. Like I'm not going to go bash a snowboard company until I've gotten on the board and actually given it a shot. Like, because then you don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking trash to talk trash. And that's what people do with Clews. So many people are like, those things are trash. And I'm like, have you tried them? And I know the answer is no, because the only way to try them right now in the US is to buy them. But like the little event that we did was the first time ever having every pair of size Clews available for people to strap in and test out in the US, because it's a German-made company. So all of the demos have been in Europe and not over here in the United States.
Bro, you got to convince them at a do tour or something to have them come out and do like a test.
I told them that. I said, like, hey, if you ever want to do an event like USASA or Do Tour or any, like you want to put up a tent and do demos or like a demo event, I don't mind like putting the crew together and going out and inviting my audience to come meet me and demo Clews. Like, I was like, dude, like I'm a part of the team. Like, if you want to do that, like I'm about it. The issue would be like they'd have to send me like 50 pairs of Clews, and I would have to get staff that they would have to pay. You know, it's like, there's a lot more to that, because I'm not going to be sitting there screwing in a bunch of bindings off my sponsorship pay. You'll have to pay me hourly too for something like that.
I I think that's such the worth the investment though. Like at an event like Dew Tour or another competition like an X Games, like the amount of people that are gonna be there and the amount of people that are there like looking for free stuff, and if you're just like, yeah, here's check out these bindings and everything like that. Like like you're saying is people are hating on this brand, but they have never even tried them. It's like, hey, come check these out. Every person that I saw try Clew Bindings were like, it's wait, it's that easy? And you're like, yeah, it's that easy. And they're like, wait a minute. And they were so impressed by them. And they would, they were buttering with the boards and everything. And they were like, this is so cool. Like every person thought it was really cool. And so I think it's well worth the investment to show it off in America, because that's probably one of their biggest markets, no?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I right now their American strategy is influencer based. So like they don't sponsor any professional athletes, and that's another thing people are like, Clew sucks. They have no sponsors, or like they don't sponsor anyone good. It's like, why? Like in their head, they're like, why pay? Like if we wanted to get an Olympic snowboarder, we'd have to pay him an insane amount of money. Like why would we do that? Vice versa. Like with the Dew Tour thing, like I think the biggest hold off is like to get a tent at Dew Tours. I'm just guesstimating, but it's around like $100,000 to put up a tent there for that weekend. So I think they're aware of it. They want to do it. It's just not there yet. They like, but also the strategy that they're doing is working. Like the last time I spoke with them, they already sold 67% of the inventory for this season, which is crazy. It's November, so.
Oh, that is good. I honestly didn't take into consideration how expensive it would be to be at Dew Tour, but yeah. Anyways, no, with this up and coming generation, I feel like going after influencers is the right play rather than going through professionals with this up and coming generation, because what kids are not on YouTube? What kids are not on Instagram and TikTok right now? So using the influencers to be their their strategy for marketing is probably way better than using pros. Because the other thing is that, like, for you as an influencer, you answer questions like, what bindings do you use? And you're like, yeah, like I use Clew Bindings. And you, like, in your videos, you're getting B-roll shots of you using your clues, and you talk about them in your videos and stuff. Whereas pros, they just do cool stuff, and like that's that.
Yeah, I think I have a nice balance of doing cool stuff and doing the influencing aspect of it. But the other thing that Clew does well is they go after micro influencers, so like influencers around 10,000 followers. And because that's a market where they could just literally be like, hey, we want to give you a pair of Clews and put you on the Clew team, and they don't monetarily pay them other than giving them a $500 pair of bindings that these people are like so hyped on. And they're like, yeah, I'll make you 2 videos a month for the bindings. And then a lot of those micro influencers that have 10,000 followers, they can get videos to go viral, like they'll have a couple million viewed videos, stuff like that. So, and then a lot of them have like 100 to 1,000 like dedicated supporters. And so going after the micro influencer is like a very big strategy nowadays, opposed to going for like a larger creator like myself, who, if you want to get in front of my audience, you're going to have to pay a substantial amount of money to get in front of my audience. But there is a difference though, because I had almost a decade now of like solid rapport with my audience in videos, because I didn't like all of a sudden just like, oh, I have 200,000 followers. Like my climb to this size has been a slow grind of daily content, things like that. So thankfully that's the one thing that I like about my audience, is like when they show up, or they definitely appreciate the products that I recommend. And that's why I was like heartbroken when that dude was like, he showed up with like Buckhouse Pro Model goggles, he had sticker on his helmet, he was like a true supporter of the channel, and he rolls up with his clues and they're snapped. I was like, no, dude, that is like a 1 in a billion. Like I've never seen that. That's got to be like a complete manufacturer flaw. So we made sure we hooked him up. He left that day with bindings.
Oh, that guy was dedicated. I loved it. And then I got some shots of him, and he was sitting there supporting. Like he's like, best goggles in the industry. It's that guy was there for you. There, I love whenever I meet you guys, I always say thank you. Like when I was meeting people for the podcast, it was a little bit different because I was like, thanks for supporting us and everything. But whenever I meet people that are there for you, bro, I'm always like, thank you for supporting my brother. Like it means a lot to us because it really does. The amount of support that your fans give you, your supporters give you, it means a lot to us because it's like they're providing a life for you that is great, but they're providing a life for my nieces and my nephew, and my niece and my nephew, and it's just like it means a lot to us, Johnathan siblings, and so we are super thankful for you guys and super thankful for what you guys do for my brother, and you guys are awesome, like what you guys do for him in the sense of like showing up every day, showing up for the videos, showing up to the rail jams. A lot of your now not like colleagues, but like like Tristan and Chris and Nico, like the guys that are there just to help with the events. Like thank you guys so much because I know how big that event was, and to have each one of you guys there just to be there and help, like that was awesome. So I thank you guys so much for supporting my brother. It means a lot to us. So
yeah, that's a big shout out to Chris and Nico and Tristan for helping. Nico flew all the way out to help, and also those dudes helped get the backyard park up and running. And yeah, as much as like I'm back to just me and here I am editing my own videos, like I still have a very and Michael, I have a very supportive group of friends. Trailer Tom showed up, and he put up his own booth and supported his things, but he was also there, and if I needed anything from him, he would have delivered. And Dane and Travis from Infinity Slopes, those dudes were rad. So yeah, it's like I always do my best to try to get back to those guys so they are willing to help and support, because I'm very thankful for their support. And then obviously I'm thankful for all of you guys' support, all the people watching, listening. And something that's very unique to, like, they started showing up last season, but specifically this season, something that's I don't want to say I got to get used to, but something I've noticed is there's some real supporters out there that they have the Evolution sticker, they have the Pro Model goggles, they have an Insta360, they got the Vertica jacket, they also got the Clew Bindings, they're on a Burton Custom, and I'm like, hey, that looks like me. It's like a spitting image twin of me because they've taken my recommendations. So like, and it's not like one person. There's like 30 people out there, like head to toe, looking like me out on the mountain, it's really cool to see, and I'm happy to have such a big impact on the sport that I love so much, and the sport that's changed my life, and I hope I really am giving back to it. And it did feel good to be, hooking dudes up with snowboards and bindings and goggles and all kinds of gear. There's a video I want to do so bad, and I just need a sponsor for it.
What's this video?
I wanted to get you involved. I wanted you to ask. I want a goggle, every time a helmet company reaches out to me, because like I like my helmet, I don't need another helmet. So they're like, could we give you a helmet for a video? And I'm like, I don't need your gear unless you want to give me 10 helmets, because I want to go to the ski resort and clip 10 helmets on my back, and then I want to go to the learning areas and hand out helmets to new skiers and snowboarders that don't have helmets.
I think that's like before you even said it, I knew that was the direction you're going in, because that's very important. Like, because there's so many beginners that don't wear helmets, and it's like, what are you doing? If you're on the mountain without a helmet, it's already like, what are you doing? Because I want to say regret this later. I'm gonna have just like clips of Johnathan slamming his head right now, because it's like Jonathan's a very good snowboarder, and like one thing to take in consideration to all the haters, yeah, he may not be throwing double backflips and stuff, but he is like when it comes to snowboarding, he's put more time on the snowboard than you guys will ever put on in your life, and he still slams his head like this. Like, what are you guys doing going to the mountain like 4 times a year without a helmet? The chances of you destroying your head is still there. Put a helmet on. And so many beginners also, they don't know. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, so they don't put helmets on. It's like,
or people can't afford them. Like that, and that's a reality too. And so it's at the end of the day, like they do help. They do. I'm also not a helmet policer, so I would be like, you don't have a helmet? Where's your helmet? Like, I hate getting blown up in the comments if I, like one specific example, I was going heli snowboarding in Silverton, and I left my entire helmet bag, and bro, like my helmet bag has my goggles, my face mask, my beanies, my helmet, like all my important like limb gear goes in this helmet bag, my gloves. And so I went all the way to Silverton, which is a 7-8 hour drive, and a super small town with zero, and the ski resort also has 0 ski shops. So I show up and I'm like, I don't have any of my gear other than like my jacket, my boots, and my board. So thankfully my friends had enough gear to piece me together, but I didn't have a helmet. I only had a beanie and goggles. And I got, every time I post a clip from that trip, which I paid $1,600 to go heli snowboarding, of course I'm going to play those clips and use those shots still. I get roasted. Helmet, where's your helmet? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, guys, like, I get like having a helmet. You want one. But see, pro snowboarders also don't get that. None of them wear helmets, and none of them get the comments. Because I've checked. I'm like, do they get, for some reason, everyone wants to tell me to put a helmet on. I'm like, you see in 99.999% of my videos, I'm rocking a helmet. I post one video of a dream day on a helicopter with no helmet, and you want to roast me?
I think part of that is the family channel. Like, because you're
this
more
family aspect.
Channel, yeah, you've got a lot more family people watching you. So you are held, which is, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's like you're held to almost a higher standard because the influence that you do have, talking about, people rocking your stickers, your goggles, your bindings, your camera setup, your Vertica gear, like people are listening to your influence. So you almost do have a more important impact than some of those pro snowboarders in the sense of like people want to do what you're doing. And I understand the whole helmet situation because like you're saying, like you want to have a helmet, but you just couldn't. And it like, what are you going to do? Turn around and drive another 14 total hours? Like that's not realistic. Is that safe? No, but it's just not realistic. So yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was a good, and I mean, with a lot of snowboarding, it's like, what risk are you willing to take? Like some people don't want to take the risk of snowboarding in the park. Some people don't want to take the risk of snowboarding in the backcountry or snowboarding without a helmet. And so like at that moment, I was like, I'm okay with this risk of snowboarding this heli day without a helmet. Is it ideal? No, but I will take certain risks now that I don't have a helmet. I have less protection, so I'll ride I'll ride more calm because I don't have it. Things like that. And anyways, but I'm shocked. I've pitched this helmet idea to like 4 or 5 helmet companies, and they've all told me no. I'm like, what?
They don't want it, bro.
This is a cool idea.
They don't want it. They don't want it.
So if you're a helmet company for some reason listening to this podcast, I got a cool video idea.
I think it's a great idea, bro. I really do, because it's you've done videos like that in the past and they do well. You like giving a whole setup out on the mountain and stuff like that. Like you've done videos like that and they do well, but it's giving back to the community, but it's a selfless act. You're like, hey, I want 10 helmets, not because it's like I want 10 helmets so I can give it to my friends. You're like, I want 10 helmets so I can give them out to people that need them. Because like you just said, people can't afford to have a helmet, and you're like, hey, I want to rock a cool helmet. I want to rock your helmet, but I want you guys also to kind of give to the community. That's essentially what it is. It's like, I want you guys to give to the community.
But also, it's like, not saying like I'm doing a selfless act, but instead of me being like, hey, give me thousands of dollars for this brand deal, instead of doing that, give me helmets, and I'm going to take my reward on the AdSense. Like I'm going to bet on myself. Like if I'm going to make any money off this ad plug, I'll do it through the video doing well, and instead of just taking money from a helmet company. But also, like, I'm so excited with the video to explain helmet safety and why it's important. So like, it's like, okay, hey, we're gonna go pass out a bunch of helmets. Did you guys know that X amount of people die a year from hitting their head on the ground? The number one death of skiing and snowboarding on resorts is collision with trees. And a lot of these people, if they were just wearing a helmet, they would have lived. Like, this is what MIPS means. Just break down helmet technology in this video while passing out helmets to people. I just think it would do so well.
I think it's a great idea, dude. I think it's a great idea.
This is why I need an office. I tried to have an office person before. Nate, you did a great job. But I would love to have someone that could like, all right, let's get this is the video we want to do. We're gonna go reach out to 30 different helmet companies. You know,
bro, I wish I could be a part of your group again in a way.
I know it's hard. Our oldest sister, which we can jump into our turkey trot family Thanksgiving that we just did a week early. But our oldest sister is moving back to Colorado for 2 years, and she's leaving her general manager coffee job or whatever, and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do in Colorado for 2 years. I was like, work for me. And my older brother too, who kind of has a side business, was like, you could work for me or we could start a business together. And my sister's like, I don't want to do this stuff. I'm like, come on, sis, because our sister's pretty awesome. She could definitely find a helmet company. But how'd you enjoy the turkey trot, bro?
Turkey trot was fun. I don't run, so that was tough.
I don't run.
So I don't know. Everyone's like, I hate running, and I agree. And I'm feeling a lot better. But one reason why I wasn't running is I did try running. When I was earlier in my gym progression, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for a run today, and I would try. And like my ankle. So last time I went snowboarding with Johnathan. I destroyed my ankle. Destroyed it. I don't know if you remember that, but we were going down last run of the day, of course. We were going down towards Peru, and I was going pretty fast, and it was a little steeper of a section. I go to my heel side, and then all of a sudden my board like jumped. I went heel side, and then it like skipped up in the air, and I landed like a foot down the mountain and just jammed my foot in, and it hurt. And like, I think I've got a picture of it. It's the best, of like Roman putting a Band-Aid on my ankle and stuff. It's so cool. But anyways, that was like one of the last times that we went snowboarding together. And literally that next day at work, I was in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk on it. And so my ankle is a little messed up. And when I would try to go run, it would hurt so bad. And since then, if I go for a run, or even just like if I do anything physical, I put an ankle brace on. So I don't know if I actually had an ankle brace on for the turkey trot. I don't know if you saw, but so I'm not a big fan of running for that reason. But I will say, because of I have been working out and doing like leg presses and squats and a lot of those workouts, I think that my ankle is a lot better right now. And so my ankle wasn't hurting that bad on the run, but I feel more confident in my ability to run. I did bring Shadow with us, and Shadow doesn't run a lot, and I could tell that he was struggling on the run. I'm not saying I wasn't struggling, but he was struggling a little bit. So we took a lot of breaks.
I saw him limping from a while away. I was like, oh, I didn't know Shadow had a limp.
Yeah, his joints aren't the best, which we try to give him joint pills. We can't give him like too much of joint pills, otherwise he kind of gets sick. So and you know all about that. That's one reason why I have Shadow, is because he has super bad like stomach issues and stuff along those lines. So we give him like joint pills and stuff. We take him places with we take him to the store all the time and everything, but we have to park our car up against a curb so that way he can jump into it easier. Or when I was literally going to the turkey trot, I had Jonathan's car, and it's a long explanation, but basically I was driving Jonathan's car and it's taller. So I literally had to pick Shadow up and put him in the car. So his joints aren't doing as good. So yeah, he loves seeing family. Like, he loves seeing family. Even Ashley, our older sister, was like, he looks really happy right now. I'm like, he loves seeing family. Like, he knows who you guys are. He loves seeing family. So I always want him to be a part of that stuff, but it's just harder on his body. So yeah.
Definitely. He's getting old, man. Ciao.
At 10 years old, he's on the bed behind me. I don't know if, okay, let me turn on my preview. See him? Yeah, he's right here, and he's just chilling.
Set up a shadow cam
everywhere. The shadow cam. Yeah, he follows me everywhere. He wants to be with me. So like right now, he could be on his other bed in the bedroom with my wife sleeping, but instead he wants to be in here. So every morning when I go to do the podcast, if you guys don't know, we podcast at 3:30, 4 a.m. So literally I'm like, come on, Shao. And he comes with me, and so here he is, just chilling, and that's just where he wants to be. But
does a podcast count as work? Like filming one? Oh, I had to get a stretch in. Sorry, because I'll go these days, like these podcast days, and I'll be like later in the day, I'm like, man, I gotta you've mentioned it before, the NF line where it's like, I could work all day and feel like I never do it enough, and I truly have that issue, and I'm like. Towards the end of the day, I'm like, man, like, I didn't get anything done today. I got so much to do. Blah, blah, blah. And I'll think about it. And I'm like, well, I woke up and immediately did emails for an hour. And then I got on the podcast with Ben. And we did a whole podcast. And then after the podcast, I got shorts done, like, did an edit. And I like, how do I say it? Like, I don't know. It's just like, I definitely do a lot. But for some reason, in my mental, like, subconscious, like, I forget that this is work. I was just like, talk to my brother on the phone. I don't know how to word it.
I mean, trying to justify this is a little bit difficult. In the sense of, I don't know. I see it as work, and that's just the way I see it. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this time. It's like this, bro. Is going out to the mountain and filming, like, is that work? Because like, you love doing it, but is it work?
Exactly. So it's like, I'm like, man, I didn't get anything done today. I only like emailed, podcasted, went to the mountain road, filmed a bunch of shorts. I got like, I don't know. I got a problem. Is basically what I'm saying. I
think this is my advice for you, and it's a dangerous slope, because I know that I struggle with it, and I'm going through changes, man. But anyways, it's a dangerous slope for a lot of people, and so like, take this. You have to be the right person to receive this advice. So for you, bro, you're disciplined enough to where I think you could take this advice, and that's like, just you be satisfied with what you are doing and what you have done. In the sense of like, you're judging yourself because you're like, I'm not doing enough. Like, you're just like constantly judging yourself. Like, I'm not doing enough. But bro, the reality is, you are doing enough. Like, you're constantly doing something, and you're constantly working towards your future. You're constantly working towards your YouTube, your whatever. Like right now you're working towards the podcast. That's what you're working towards. And although, yeah, we're two bros, and like right now, no product is being made. And honestly, this is perfect. I'm going to circle back, but so no product is being made, but you're planting a seed right now for the future, right? So you're constantly doing that. You're disciplined enough to where you're constantly doing that. You're constantly thinking about your health, your fitness, your YouTube, your family. You're constantly thinking about the future, and yet you're constantly beating yourself up because you don't think you're doing enough. And so my advice for you, bro, is just like, be satisfied with who you are and like what you are doing, because you're doing a lot. And I said I was going to circle back to it. My job does I'm pulling out my phone right now, but my job does a quote of the week every single week, and it's my responsibility to post it. And it comes up on Monday. So the one yesterday was literally, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. And that's like essentially what I'm trying to tell you, bro, is like, don't judge it based off of the performance that you're getting out of today, but judge it by the seeds that you're planting, because I know that you're constantly planting seeds, bro.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I had a mini panic attack last night because I was like, is the channel doing better than when I was doing daily last year? Should I go back to daily? Like, what's going on? Like, I keep having like these mini like mental attacks, and it has, and this is why I was afraid to go away from daily. It is actually harder to hit a 3-post deadline on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, long form deadline than it was to hit daily, which sounds crazy. But when you're making a video every single day, it's simple. Like, you're doing this where I don't post a long form video on Saturday or Sunday, and then all of a sudden like Monday shows up and you're like, oh wait, I gotta work. I gotta make this long form video that I didn't have to do. Or between the turkey trot, the meat and wax, and we had family in town, things like that. I've been accidentally getting all of the short form videos out past 5 p.m., which is not what I want to do. Like, in a perfect world, I get a short out in the morning, I get one out in the midday, and I get one out after 5 p.m. in a perfect world. And all of a sudden, like last night was a short content dump because I was trying to get the meat and wax video done, edited, uploaded, on top of, we came home from the turkey trot family Thanksgiving to 10 inches of snow at my house, which was rad, but I had to go like plow the driveway and like all kinds of stuff. And so it's like, but the funny thing is, like, it doesn't, like, as much as it matters, it doesn't matter as long as I get my shorts out. But at the same time, I'm the only person holding me to that subconscious standard. And but every short's a seed, and it matters. And I'm just getting into it too. We're only in November. I got to keep reminding myself, because I've already went to Finland. The season's been a lot better this year than last year. So like sometimes I gotta like stop and be like, dude, chill. It's November. You're fine.
I also kind of had like a mini panic attack last night of just like clean mode of like, because just like you said, like we had Saturday, we had Johnathan's meat and wax, and then I also had my wife's side of the family. We had a Thanksgiving up there, so I went from meat and wax to I went gym, meat and wax, then to the family event, which then afterwards got home, fell asleep, woke up the next morning and did the turkey trot, and then family stuff again, and then I had to finish the podcast. So like it was kind of like what you're saying, just like nonstop go. And then all of a sudden, Monday came and like got into work. And so like the kitchen had kind of a mess going on, and we just had some stuff around, and I was just like, I am so stressed right now. And I just like went into super clean mode. Kirsty then gets home. I'm like cooking dinner, cleaning. She's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just have a lot to do, and I still have to stream. And I went and streamed, and then like there was just so much going on. Little panic attack. Now I wasn't worried about me posting a million shorts or anything, but I know it's
YouTube finally did the update on shorts where you can, like, when you go to post a short, it now can accept a 3-minute short. So then you don't, like, where before you had to upload like a normal video and it was all screwed up and stuff. So I've finally been able to get out those longer form kind of vloggy shorts that I've been wanting to do.
I was gonna say, did you like repost the ones that didn't do well and everything?
Yeah, the first one, like the 3-minute that I was like, I think I want to make content like this. I reposted that one, and I actually made it private from the original post, or first time I posted it, because like once again, like it literally uploaded like a normal YouTube video, and it was messed up. And then now that it can go into the shorts, like directly into the shorts feed, I did that. I don't think the YouTube audience is ready for the longer form yet, if that makes sense. Like they're just not conditioned to it because they're not doing as well, but I think they will over time.
I think like jumping on that game early though, like you're doing, is like as soon as it's out, be one of the first people to be posting the 3-minute shorts and everything, because let's say they do extremely well. Like there's a reason why TikTok promotes long form short content, like that sounded like the most ridiculous statement ever, long form short content, but you know what I mean. Like TikTok promotes like longer shorts. So I'm sure YouTube will have success with that. And so I would say just keep doing it, bro. And it may not feel like you're getting the, like, once again, to that quote I just said, you may not be getting that harvest right now, but you're planting the seed, and that's what matters. So I think keep doing it, and don't make it your primary thing, but maybe one or two a week.
I'm really excited to go after how-to videos. So like what I've noticed with on YouTube now, when I search like how to do this real quick, well, now shorts pop up, and so you have the option of a 10-minute, let's say like how to unscrew a light bulb. It's like, okay, there's a 10-minute video right here, how to unscrew a light bulb, or here's this short that's like 30 seconds to a minute 20 seconds on how to unscrew this light bulb. Well, which one are you going to watch? The one that's going to save you the most amount of time. So now I want to re-go through all of the how-to videos, and but in a short style. I think that's going to do really well.
All right. I just want to say one thing about that. Keep into consideration what I told you a while ago about jargon. Remember, like try not to
be too jargony.
Yeah, try not to use, I want to say larger words, but like words that are more conditioned to people that are used to snowboarding and stuff. So don't be like, yeah, so when you want to do this 360, you want to get your contact point in and then go ahead and spring off.
Torsional flex to have upper body, lower body separation, and make sure your counter rotation is on top of your...
Don't be throwing around
what
words
is he saying?
Well, like, I know that you're going to get hate by people that are like, this guy, like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's not even, no, guys, you're going to want to put your contact points above, like that. Like, the point is, though,
keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. You're going for an audience that is learning, that is getting into the industry. And once again, like, content is accessible to people that, your range of people are from like, 8-year-olds all the way up to like, I mean, your audience goes up to like the 55-year-olds. You've got such a range of audience, so you want to touch all that. Whoa, no. You want to get in, you want to be able to impact everybody. But what else was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say, but there's people that don't even they don't even snowboard, but they watch your stuff. I remember you posted like a top to bottom for like Wolf Creek or whatever, and it got like 2 million views on TikTok, and there were people in the comments that were literally like, do I snowboard? No. Did I watch the whole video? Yes. And so
that video hit just the algorithm the right way. It was just gorgeous and stuff. Because honestly, in order to get millions of views in ski and snowboard content, you need the content to go past skiers and snowboarders, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. You have to. I think I don't like what I've told you in the past, but it going to this conversation, it rings true. But it's like, I would say that I would say that you're like limited on your audience, because I was like, snowboarding's not the biggest thing in the world. So, I think I said, and once again, like, I'm not proud that I said this, but it's like, I think I said, you're not going to be like the next Dude Perfect because their audience is so vague and massive, because snowboarding's so niche. But that's not fair. That's not fair to say. That's also not true. You could do whatever you want, bro. Who am I to say that you can't do that? But no, you're right. Like, your audience has to be bigger than snowboarding, and that's what you've been able to touch into. You've been able to reach into a much larger audience, and that's how you do become a much larger audience. Because realistically, Dude Perfect, their stuff was trick shotting. Trick shotting is technically a niche audience, but then all of a sudden it blew up because they reached a larger audience. So, yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. And, oh man, I had something I wanted to say. Oh, according to just an update from last week, according to the collision video, I'm still soft. I'm still rude. And I was still in the wrong. That video is starting to go like more like going past snowboarding. And I think that's why the hate is so high, because it's a lot of people that don't actually ski and snowboard and don't know how dangerous that impact could have been. Because I'll occasionally get people jumping and they're like, clearly you guys don't understand skiing and snowboarding and how much that skier was in the wrong, or how expensive this gear is that he just ran over, stuff like that. But like, I can't read my Instagram comments right now because it's just too frustrating.
Dude, the people in that comment section are just stupid, because I'm not saying, like, I'm just gonna say, because I don't care, but it's like these people are like, that's what you get for standing in the middle of a run. And once again, like we talked about in the last episode, you're literally at a loading zone for a ski lift. Like, you're at the bottom of a run, and you could see it in the video. You're like 15 yards, if not more, past the like slow signs, like say stop, like you're approaching a loading zone. Like, you're at the bottom of the run, and this guy comes in out of nowhere and just destroys you. Like luckily you didn't actually get hurt, but it's like, what is, and then people are calling you soft. It's like, dude, you're just chilling. Like, you know, you're just
it's
doing
progressed to DMs. I keep getting DMs now, people saying you're soft, and I just reply, sorry, I don't roll that way, but good luck, buddy.
People, yeah. I haven't had a video of hate. I tried to restructure my videos a little bit, but I haven't received a video that gets hate. I've got some older ones that still get hate.
I say weren't you rage baiting for a little bit?
I wouldn't necessarily say rage baiting, but I wouldn't say my strategy, but like I would say my strategy a little bit is like, so most of my clips that I post are like funny things that happen to me while I'm streaming, and I try to give like a strong reaction, because I'm sure you have this as well, but when I'm playing my video games and like I know that what I'm saying can become a short, or what I'm doing can become a short, or what just happened can become a short, I lean into it more. So I'm like, if like something funny happened to me while I died, like I'll react a little bit bigger. I was already gonna react, but like I just react a little bit bigger because I know it's gonna become a short or whatever. But a lot of my content will be me talking to my chat, and I say a somewhat like controversial statement or like controversial opinion, and I know that like could be a short, and so I do that. But no, like one of the videos I had was there was this guy, and it's been explained, but there's this guy that was playing Apex, and his name is It's Timmy. And when I would watch him, sure, he's on mouse and keyboard. I'm going super nerdy, guys, so I'm sorry, but bear with me. But he's on mouse and keyboard, which is a different experience than using a controller, because with the mouse and keyboard he could flick his like the mouse super strong and everything. And this guy looked like he was cheating. He was a massive streamer, and he would literally like, he would go from like one target to then like a 180 and like be on another target. And like, that's not humanly realistic. Like, it's insane watching this guy, and it looked like he was cheating. And I like kind of said that once, and I was like, I don't know, that dude looks like he's cheating. I don't really like that guy. I've seen it. It looks impressive, but it looks like he's cheating in my opinion. That video blew up, and everyone's like, he's not cheating, you're just bad, blah, blah, blah. And like, it is what it is, right? So I wouldn't say I was like rage baiting, but I did make a follow-up video about that, and same thing. And I knew that it was going to do well, but yeah.
I want to go the Josh Peck route. Have you ever seen him? Like, he's like, hey guys, how you doing? You having a good day? And he has like chicken nuggets, and he like will dip them, and he takes a bite of the side that he didn't dip, and he goes, how about now? He dips again and takes another bite. He's like, how about now? So like, I have an idea.
Seen those, but those are funny.
Oh, they're funny. And so I have an idea. I'm gonna grab one of my older boards. I'm gonna go to A Basin, and A Basin has this perfect like ramp to cement. And so I want to be like riding and be like, hey guys, how you doing? You having a good day? It's a beautiful day here. And then just like ride right onto the concrete, like I'm like, how about now? You still having a good day? And like press it or something. I'm like, how about now? Because Nico did it. I made a short of it, and it of him just going from snow onto the concrete. I was like, fastest way to stop, and everyone's like, the snowboard. And I get it, because a lot of people, they spend hundreds of dollars on these snowboards, and then they never use them enough to actually get thrashed. Where me and Nico or people that go multiple times a week, ride the park, like we're destroying these things. So like I have a handful that are just legitimately straight garbage. So yeah, it'd be funny.
I think it's not necessarily a trend because it's not. I don't know the term for this. Maybe it doesn't have a term, or maybe I'm just making this up. But have you ever seen videos where it's not necessarily a trend, as in like people do it all the time, but it's like an older video that people kind of make videos about still? And what my example is going to be is there was this like thirst trappy video of this kid he was a teenager, and he had shaving cream on, and he was like singing a song. Like I said, it's a thirst trap. I'll have it up on the screen. It's so cringy, but this guy is like shaving his face, and he's like trying to look like a thirst trap. But the dude has no facial hair. He is so clean shaven, and then he has like shaving cream on, and he's shaving. It's so unnecessary. And so it would be like it would then cut to somebody else like making fun of him, where it'd be like somebody bald and they're like putting shampoo on their head and stuff. And then they would like get a cup, fill it up with water and like from a pitcher, stop for a second, and then drink from the pitcher. Like they would do like unnecessary things. And I think that you could do something like that with snowboarding pretty easily, where yeah, like kind of what you're saying, where you set it up in a way where it's like, I want to say like, I don't know how to say this. It'd be like if you strapped in to start skating, but then you skate the other way, like like you do the opposite of what they're expecting.
I wanted to do this like it's rage baiting essentially. I wanted to do it. I couldn't think of one other than the riding onto cement, but yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, like the strapping in one. Oh no, yeah, I don't know how to. It'd be like strapping in to get on the gondola or something. I don't know. I really don't know the right way to do it.
We can talk and think about it, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Like,
there's definitely they're out there. You just got to get creative. There's a X Games skier who's finally like he's like committed to going all in on content, and he's actually a really funny dude. And he had a like how what not to do when getting off a chairlift, and he was like slightly bouncing sitting on the seat, and then it's like a close up of him on the chairlift, and then it cuts to the off-roading ramp, and he's like still bouncing, and he just doesn't get off and goes around the bull wheel. Yeah, it was actually hilarious.
There's certain stuff that I wouldn't commit to, and that's one of those, like just staying on the chairlift. I hate inconveniencing other people.
Yeah, and I think it depends on where you do it, how you do it, because you could something like that, you probably could get in big trouble. But if you like let the lifties know, like there's a chairlift specifically at Steamboat, I feel like you could do some stuff like that, and because like not only park riders ride it, and it's not a very busy chairlift, but they run it every day still. So it's like there's definitely ways to make things happen, but also partnering with resorts. One of the Colorado resorts that I haven't been to, there's only 3 of them that I haven't been to yet. One reached out and they're like, when you coming here? Like let's do stuff together. And I was like, yes, like I've literally been waiting to get a hold of you guys. So like when I partner with a resort, that makes it easier to do these things. One of the resorts down, it sucks because it's 2 hours away, was like, hey, if you want to come before we even open and film stuff, like we're so down, like you could use our spot to do things that would be unsafe. And you could film them here.
They're telling you to do unsafe stuff.
They're like, if you have an unsafe idea, something that you couldn't do with like runs full of people, you could come do them here. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That's
before
cool.
we're even open. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, well, we're about to get into it. It's once again, I feel like it's January right now. It's only November, but it's because I've had a very successful early season, which has been rad.
I was gonna say, how are you feeling about your season? Like, obviously you've been saying it, and you just said it right now, but it's like, how are you? Like, are you trending positively? I feel like you are. I've seen your views do incredibly well. Like, where are you at right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's saying I'm over 3,000 followers in the last 30 days. I think that's well. I need to check my stats with last season. The only issue is last season I had a short hit like 11 million views in the month of November. So a lot of those stats are going to be skewed, if that makes sense. So, but like when I look at my YouTube summary, everything's arrows up, like views are up, watch time is up, all of it's up. But that's like to the previous month normally. And so you got to kind of have to do like some in-depth like comparison that I'll probably do after this podcast to see how I'm really doing. But on Instagram and TikTok specifically, I have the last 28 days, I have over 12 million views on both Instagram and TikTok, which is definitely up. All my platforms are growing. So I think it's working. It's definitely buzzing and things. And so I also forget too, because like the last couple of years, the summer's been like slightly tight. And I'm like, we're in November and I still got a bunch of bills and stuff paid and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's still kind of tight, but like everything's humming and buzzing. And I always forget that like it takes November is when the money finally kicks back on. But I don't get that money till December. So I'm like sitting here like do, but like it'll all kick in next month, and I think I'll be feeling different. But that's the grind of a snowboard content creator. Once again, this year is the year I plan to. We're doing things different, so it's gonna be all different next summer too.
I've got your
Social Blade pulled up.
Social Blade pulled up right now. Your October is trending way better than the last 2 years.
I definitely had a good October, like one of the best Octobers in a long time.
Yeah, you're most definitely trending up, and I'm curious to see on your November, because I do see November is when you jump. Like literally last year, you had 643,000 video views in October. So 643,000 views. November, 6.9 million. Literally over 10 times as many views. So
but that was because of one short, so when I look at it this year, I'm at 1.6 million. So it's like from the 600,000. Does that make sense? So like,
oh yeah.
Can you see November 2 years ago?
November 2 years ago, you were at 1.8 million.
Okay, so I'm not as up than I was then.
What? So no. Well, so I would say actually, yeah. So here, bro. I'm gonna do some. No, I'm not. So November of 2022, you had 1.8 million views. In October of this year, you had 1.4 million views. So you were off by 400,000 a month earlier than 2 years ago. Now, for November to October. So I would say that's way better. October last year, you had, once again, 643,000 views. This year, you had 1.4 million. So you had over double the amount of views this year than you did last year.
Definitely. Okay.
September, you had almost 3 times as much.
And then on Instagram and TikTok, my views are like a trillion times, like I'm getting 1.6 million on YouTube, but I'm getting 12 million views on Instagram and 12 million views on TikTok, if that makes sense. So like I'm humming and buzzing all over the socials. So things are it feels like we're doing well. So I just got to keep it up.
Yeah, bro. I believe in you. I know that like I said, I know you don't feel this way, but I said earlier, I was like, I feel like this is the most prepared you've been for a season. And you're like, doesn't feel like it, but I feel like you are most prepared, at least like mentally and strategically, bro. I think you got this is going to be a massive year for you, even though it was also a very sad year of like having to let Cody go and stuff like that. Like it's still going to be a massive year for you, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Give me the pop. I feel energized, ready to take on it. But I think we did it. This was a fun episode. It's fun to go over the meat and wax. Once again, thanks to everyone that came. If you want to see kind of more about it, I think Ben might have the video in the description of this one. And thanks for listening to the podcast. Hopefully we can have some major growth in the next 2 to 3 months on this podcast. I need to do a better job of plugging it. I'll plug it hard in an upcoming YouTube video. And yeah, what do you got, bro?
I was telling Kirsty, I was happy about how busy I was like this last weekend of like helping Johnathan with the meat and wax and everything and with seeing family. But I also told her, I was like, I want to stay that busy, but like selfishly. That sounds mean, but like this weekend, I've got a 4-day weekend with Thanksgiving. So like literally like I've got Thanksgiving, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I'm going to make some shorts. I'm going to make some podcast shorts. I've been slacking on that, guys. That is my fault. That is 100% my fault. But I'm going to bust out some content to be able to post and share and promote us, because as much as Johnathan's taking advantage of this early season, I need to be taking advantage of it as well. So hopefully we can see some major growth. I hope you guys see some great content from this. If you guys enjoyed particular moments of this podcast, please let us know. It helps me out so I can maybe take that moment and turn it into a short. So yeah, if you liked a particular moment, tell us about it down in the comment section below. Join the conversation, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for supporting my brother. It means a lot.
Peace.
That's what I got.
Peace.